Cinnabon dough that I have, and I'm tweaked it here and there. You guys can, hello from Ohio, you guys can stick to the original recipe, or now I add an egg to it just to kind of beef it up a little bit. So for the strawberry roll, I like to use my favorite strawberry jam. Now, it's a little weird. I have favorite jams, all of my favorite jams, depending on what fruit it is, I like a different brand. So for the strawberry, I like Saint Dalfor, okay? This is what I prefer. Use whatever jam you like. I go half and half. I add some fresh strawberries just to save some time, and a little bit of lemon in the strawberries. And we're making, this dough makes 2 Cinnabon dishes. So I'm going to make half of it now and half of it later. I love, somebody asked me, they said orange. And I told you guys last night, I'll make the orange for a party. But right now the boys are home and they're gonna love this. So I will make the orange when I have more adult party, but it would be the same way. You just get your favorite orange marmalade and you want to add some orange zest to it. Marmalade's the best way to go. Just kind of cook it down, simmer it down, add some more orange zest to it, some more orange juice if you're making an orange roll. Hello, Persama Blue. Healthy recipes. Yes, a lot of grilling is good, and a lot of vegetables, grilling or baking. Most of my stuff is quite healthy. Get on YouTube and see if you can find anything, and then I'll help you outside of this. DM me. Okay, so now I'm going to put this on the saucepan so my strawberries kind of get cooked down a little bit. I don't want the fresh strawberries to become really mushy. That'll give it a nice texture. So we're going to stick this on the stove, and I will add one tablespoon of butter to the strawberry as it's cooking down. And I'm here. You can't see me. There you go. That'll just make it happy. And now we can move on to our dough and make room for it. I'm going to do the dough right here. I'm going to roll it out. I have some flour and I'm going to sift it. I've become obsessed with, this has a thing, it poked me. Sifting my flour because these little nuggets in there are getting in the way. So there's my sifted flour. And look at my dough from last night. If you guys were watching last night, look how big it got. That dough popped up. I didn't put it on YouTube last night, but YouTube already has this dough. And let's leave that for later. I'm going to take the whole thing out. That's what I'm going to do. And before I do that, I'm just going to pop it out here. I like to use these plastic spatulas because they really scrape down really well the bottom of your pot. Now, once you add an egg to my simple dough recipe, it just kind of becomes a little bit more fatty. The color changes. If you're anti-egg, then don't add it, but I encourage you to add it. It just makes your dough more, the texture changes. It really does. The flavor changes a little bit. It's not that you taste the egg, but it does change a little bit. Now, I want to add I want to add about 2 teaspoons of baking powder to this. Okay, that's 2 teaspoons to my dough. And then here's what's happening. I'm just folding it. There are flowers on the surface. This is the same surface that I did this with Kris Jenner. Right here, we kind of popped in the kitchen and started making it. This is her favorite thing, I think, of all the things that I've made her. This is one of her favorite cheat sheets. Okay, so there it is. I'm in black and I'm making the Cinnabon. It is without a fail. There we go. Now, get some more flour on there because we're going to cut it and shape it. There. And you don't want it to be chunky flour, right? That's why we sift it. Now I'm going to cut this. And, oh, I hear my strawberries. I think I need to turn it down. Oh, yeah. You need to turn that down and just kind of there, that's cooking down. That was a little hot. The heat. Cut the dough in half. And I just used my strawberry knife. Doesn't have to be a fancy one. There's dough in half. Pop this back into your dish. Okay. Now try and remain as rectangle as possible. That'll be easier when you want to roll it out. There. Really simple. Just roll this out. Go. This is a great recipe for Easter. You guys can make the Easter bread out of it. The braided bread that I like. The one that I didn't post it yet. I think I'm gonna make it again and a little bit more flour. There we go. And just kind of wipe it off. That way it'll eat up the one wherever it needs the flour, it'll absorb it and the excess will go away. There. There's that beautiful dough. Look at this dough. It's just perfection. Don't want to go too thin. You don't want to be too thick. Either way, what you're going to do is once you cut it, you're going to set it in your plate, in your dish, and you're going to let it rise again. That's going to be the second rise. So this is happy, happy. I want to bring my Cinnabon dish that I like to put it in there. I like these ring forms. And this one is 24 centimeters. I think it's about 9 or 10 inches. So this is where it's going to go. And now we're going to add the filling. Now, before I add the filling, I'm going to, oh yeah, so good. This is nice and warm. There's our strawberry jam with the strawberries in there. That's what you want. And I'm going to let this sit. As it cools off, I will add some honey. Some good honey, about, let me see how much. Let's see. Everybody can see. About a quarter cup of honey instead of sugar. Usually we would add sugar to this, to our Cinnabon, and butter, right? And cinnamon. Today I added honey to this because don't forget, you want your roll to also be sweet. Yet let's not spill this hot mess on myself. All right, and that's just gonna sit there. Now I'm going to butter. Hi everyone. I'm going to butter my roll. We're going to take a butter knife. I have really Kerrygold European butter, really soft. Just going to butter this all over, spread it. Look how soft that is. You can tell the temperature in LA is rising because my butter gets perfectly spreadable just sitting out on the counter. I always have butter out on the counter, but when it gets really hot, I can't. I have to find a cool place in the kitchen. Otherwise, it just melts and it starts running. Get the butter everywhere. Oh, yes. And guess what I'm having today for lunch? I'm having one of these. Yes, I am. I am going to earn it. I'm going to make it, put it in the oven, and go for a nice long walk with the dogs. And then when I get back, I've earned it. And I'm not going to just have a bite. I'm going to have the whole roll. As long as you guys do your daily routines, you can enjoy the finer things in life. That's my motto. And if I don't have time to do that, then guess what? I'll cut back. So that's where portion control comes in. Here we go. This is so yummy. This is soft. And let's taste it just so you guys see. Oh my God, it's so good. Holy moly. Just spread it on. And there's chunks of strawberries in there. Now, I've told you several times, I don't do frosting over. My kids and I are not too big on frosting. Even if we're outside, we ask for the frosting on the side. Just spread it out. Just spread it out all over. Now there's chunks of strawberries. Some people are going to want that piece. And there's mashed up strawberries in this particular brand, which is why I like it. And if you don't like mashed up strawberries and then you find the brand you like. I'm not promoting any brand or anything here. To each his own, whatever you like. I'm just saying if you like more chunky pieces in your jam, this one seems to have it. This is a good one for the strawberry. And if you want more strawberry chunks in there, just pick it out of your dish because remember I added fresh strawberries to the jam. My mouth is watering. My mouth is watering. Okay, now I need to spray my pan. I like a good baking spray with flour. Or if your baking spray with flour just ran out, then just use butter. I have plenty of soft butter. That's what I'm going to use. I'm just going to pop it in there. Just right in the bottom and all around with your fingers. If you don't want to use your fingers, You don't have to. You can use a paper towel. I like that. My fingers are already gooey from the dough and everything. That's perfect. And then what I tend to do is put a cookie sheet under this in the oven. My oven is warm, ready to go, but I do have to let this rise one more time. So here's what's gonna happen. I wanna get this brush to brush off the excess flour from underneath. And I'm going to rinse my hands. Okay, and bring over my brush. Now, let's go this way. Let's go this way, and that way I can I'm going to go this way, and then they'll be fatter. And then when I put it in my dish, I'll have less, but then it'll have room to plump up. So here we go. Fold it nice and tight. And right from the get-go, if you guys see flour, you just brush it away. Because the flour is going to make this hard and chewy. It'll absorb the moisture as it's cooking, and that's what's going to ruin your roll. Now, this can also be savory. It doesn't have to be sweet. I've done it where I've added tomato sauce, pizza sauce in there, marinara sauce. You could add barbecue sauce to it and add chicken. You could add some sort of like a ranch sauce and add chicken strips in there or shredded chicken. Okay. You can add onions and sauteed onions and mushrooms. Oh, possibilities are endless with this dough. Just endless. It's such a beautiful, beautiful dough. So tasty. It's getting heavy, right? Because we're going this way. So as it gets heavier, you literally feel like you have to lift it up and fold it. And then I'm going to make churros too. I think I'll do that later on tonight. There we go. Lift and roll. Yes. See that flour? Da, da, da. Now it's getting gooey, and that's okay. I think I'm going to lift this side and bring it over, just like that, and just close it up like that. Oh my gosh, and there's no flour there. That's perfect. And look at the coloring on that. Now, some people suggest you would put this in the refrigerator right now. I'm going to work with it fast and get it to where it needs to be. I like them big like that, nice and wide, about 1.5 inches, and pop it right in the middle. And I will show you guys. Oh my goodness. And look, the strawberries are just popping out. I'm going to put that right on top. There's that piece. And the strawberry falls out. Guess what? I'm putting it right on top. Oh my goodness. Well, We haven't even cooked this and it smells divine. And don't panic, the strawberries pop out. I'm just popping it right back in there. It's so soft, it's so gooey. It's absolutely perfection. My mouth is watering just putting this together. I think I'm going to go with this piece. And this piece doesn't need to be cut. It's just right there. And this piece, I'm going to put her, that's a girl piece, I can tell, right there. That's it. Look at that. Now this will sit right out here, nowhere else, not in the refrigerator, on the counter for about an hour, and it will double up. Maybe 2 hours. It will completely double up. But about an hour, half an hour, I'm going to bake it because I want the kids to enjoy it before they head out for the day. Otherwise, I will be the only one eating it. And it really is spectacular right when it comes out of the oven for you to enjoy it. But if you don't have time, you want to reheat it, that's fine too. You could put it in the toaster oven. We made cinnamon rolls and strawberry rolls instead of cinnamon rolls. All right, friends. So this will go in the oven for about 40 to 50 minutes, 35 to 45 minutes at 350. And then you take it out and you enjoy it right then and there. If you're new to my Instagram, go ahead and subscribe and hit the not Instagram, YouTube. Hit subscribe and the notification bell, and that way you'll be alerted when I go at live or a new video. So now my